headmaster, so we know he can read the stars, and he uses that to see what the future is. He has his vision, stuff like that. Well, he's looking at the stars and he's thinking, did I get this wrong? Like, he's right about the Melody being the demon lord, or will potentially become the demon lord. But what he was wrong about was that the main character, Melody, would be enemies and one would survive. Now, re-looking at the stars, they're entwined with each other. They're becoming one with each other. And he's like, oh no, should I reread the stars? So he gets out his spiritual tool and he's trying to reread the stars and he's trying to figure out what is going on. Like, he's getting very upset, very frustrated, and even causing harm to himself, trying to figure out what is wrong. And that is when the main character's master, his Sujin, steps in and he destroys the spiritual tool that the headmaster was using, and he warns the headmaster to stop meddling. He had already told the headmaster not to get involved, not to meddle. Just because the heavens state this will be the main character Melody's future does not mean it would be. He was against the headmaster harming the Melody or attempting to kill them, Melody, and using the main character to kill the Melody. Like, he was super against it, and he's warning the headmaster once more. During the period of time the main character and Melody were at the temple, the headmaster was kind of involved in that, or at least he informed the temple of what was going on. I wasn't really sure, but at least he's partially involved in it. He's just sitting and relaxing. That's when the main character's Shujin reappears and destroys the little arrow thing that makes the sky look all pretty and stuff and looks like a night sky, and he uses the sky to read the stars, and he destroys the dude's cup, a cup that the main character Shujin had gifted the headmaster. He also had gifted the headmaster the spiritual tool that he uses to read the stars, and he again tells him to stop meddling, to not harm his student, to not harm the Melody, and the headmaster is just sitting there trying to fix the teacup that was destroyed as the Shujin disappears. Am I the only one that sees that the Shujin and the headmaster act like ex-lovers? Am I the only one who sees it? Because I think they're meant to be with each other, that they're gonna be together, or they were once together and now they're bitter ex-lovers, or once in a while they get together and they spend a night together and then they're like, we're ex-lovers, we can't be together. Like, are they together? Because, like, everyone talks about how close they are, that they are each other's friends, that the main character Sujin will do anything if the headmaster asked him of it. Like, are they together? Or were together and now they're just exes? One thing I hope is not going to happen, but I think the only reason why I think it could possibly happen, but I don't want it to happen, is because I've read Scum Saving System, Husky and his White Cat Shujin, and it also shows up in Remnants of Filth, is the fact that I have a bad feeling that the first Marshall brother and the Shujin could possibly get together, or at least the first Marshall brother has romantic intentions towards their Shujin, and I really hope it doesn't happen. Like, I don't want it to happen, but it's giving those vibes, and I don't want it to. If he's gonna get with someone, I hope it's with the headmaster, or they used to be lovers, and I hope that I'm just reading it wrong, that my brain has just been brain rotted by the other two, and that the first Marshall brother just has the feelings that the cousin from Husky and his White Cat Shujin has for their Shujin, in that for the Melody, it's not romantic, it's just looks up to him, he idolizes him, he just wants to be just like him, and I hope it's like that, and it's not what I'm dreading. I hope it's not. The main character Shujin tells him they're going to go traveling with each other, that he's going to teach the main character while they travel, and the main character's like, okay, that's perfectly fine with me. He says goodbye to the Melody and they go off. One of the first places they go to on their travels is a literal brothel. Now, before they entered it, the main character assumes he just misunderstood what his teacher said, because back during the competitions thing and when they weren't competing and weren't fighting in rounds, his third Marshall brother always made out that he was going to take the main character to a brothel, and the main character assumed it, only it wasn't happening. But it actually does happen this time around. His Shujin takes him to a brothel, but nothing brothel-like happens. They just end up sitting down and having a drink. That's where they find the second Marshall brother, and that's when his Shujin gets onto the dude for, his actions towards the junior SAC leader. and they have a moment with each other before they split their ways. Then they go and meet up with the Marshall sister, and she had just dropped off the third Marshall brother to his home and made sure that he was safe and sound and nothing was going to happen to him before she had left. And when she meets up with him, she informs this to her Shujin and to the main character. And they spend some time with each other, and then they head off to the academy where the headmaster is. And his Shujin goes, "Oh, you can enter yourself. You can go this way." He probably is still mad at me for the fight we had the last time I saw him. So, I'm going to let you take care of it for me, and then I will enter. And the Marshall sister disappears after this. But yeah, the main character ends up in the academy by himself having a conversation with the headmaster, and the headmaster promises that he's going to stop attacking the male lead, that he's not going to bring any more harm towards the male lead, he's not going to intend to kill the male lead anymore. And that's when the Shujin finally shows up and goes, "See? You should have done this from the get-go. You needed to stop meddling." He also gifts the main character a bunch of books that have the titles of cringy, corny romance stories. You know, the romance stories your mom or your grandma reads? Yeah, those titles. He gifts those to the main character, and the main character's like, "What?" He's like, "You need to read these. Read them. Promise me you will read these books." And the next day they leave. So yeah, the headmaster gave them those kinds of books. After they visit the headmaster, they go to the continent that the Shujin came from, and he basically abandons the main character there. So he stays with the main character for a period of time, and this continent is like filled with demonic converters. He makes the main character fight to the death against all of these demonic converters, and when he's sure that the main character could survive on his own, he just leaves the main character. He literally abandons his students. So the main character literally has to fight and dig himself all the way out of this continent to get back to their continent and get back to their sack, all by himself. So the main character goes from somebody who wouldn't really harm anyone for no good reason, or specifically not fight to the death or not kill someone really, to somebody who's willing to kill if it means for his own survival. He goes from a lamb on slaughter to a little beast just to survive. And that's what his teacher wanted to teach him. But I was horrified for him. Like, I was terrified. I was like, my poor baby, my poor little baby. I need to jump into this book and protect him to keep him safe. What the main character Shujin has been doing this entire time during his disappearance was he was going into the abyss off and on and fighting demonic converters to stop the demonic converters and demons from escaping the abyss and attacking people. Like, there's demonic converters outside of the abyss, and then there's demonic converters and demons actually in the abyss that crawl themselves out to harm and hurt others. And that's what his Shujin's been doing this entire time. And when he leaves the main character, he tells the main character he's going to the memorial temple, and he's going to destroy the era in the memorial temple, or he's going to go there and do something. I wasn't really sure what it was, but he's going to handle something. And it's typically to give the main character and the male lead more time. It even goes to the headmaster, showing the headmaster, acknowledging and wanting to help the main character get more time, just like his Shujin was.